All right, folks, good morning. Rick Mills here, just got back from a little trip to New Jersey, a little fishing. So I thought I'd give you, it's always, a watched pot never boils. A watched pot never boils. A watched garden, if you go to your garden every single day, it feels like it just grows so slow. Leave for 4 or 5 days, come back and look at this. Stuff everywhere, love it. I'm gonna give you a quick tour of what we're eating right now. We've been eating salads for about a month and a half now. So just amazing, delicious. We're still having to go to the store and buy some stuff, but it's turning into more and more and more potential, all right? Got a lot of potential energy in this garden, a lot of potential future salads, future meals. Love it. Let me give you a tour. Let's check out our beets. Oh boy, I gotta keep this covered because the yellow wobblers want to eat. Look at those beet greens, they're just gorgeous. Some tomatoes from last year, little seedlings somewhere popped up in the corners. All these beets, you got beets down in here, you can see the beet. But the greens are just as good. Moving on down the line, we got our little pepper section. We got bell peppers, which we've already eaten one. You can see we got one coming in here, little guy, but we've already eaten one. We got what I call our little Hungarian peppers, which we've already eaten some in our salads. I really love these, got 3 on there. And then our jalapenos, which I've already had some jalapenos in my salad. It was absolutely amazing. Again, tomato plants. Once you plant tomatoes and then they fall on the ground and the seeds get in the soil, tomatoes will end up popping up everywhere. Now key here is our lettuce is almost gone. So this used to be all lettuce, if you remember. We still have a few plants that we're like picking from the bottom and working our way up, keeping the stalk healthy, but the salad up top, you can see how Mina's pulling the salad from the bottom up, and we still have fresh salad, different types, several different types of salad. There's 3, 4, 5 different types of salad right there. The different mixtures of the flavors is what makes the salad that much more special. We got some sweet pea plants here that are trying to climb. I'm gonna end up having to trim back some of this cucumber plant to create space for these sweet peas because I love my sweet peas. I just need to guide it over and get it to start climbing. And what I'll do is I'll use this branch here to guide it and get it to start finding the fence and climbing the fence. Like, here you go, buddy. Talk to your plants. They like it when you talk to them. See that? Now I'm guiding it to the fence. Now it'll find the fence, it'll wrap its finger around. You can see the blossoms there. That'll turn into a sweet pea pod. And those sweet peas are great in salads. We've got like no squash at all. We have the squash plants, plenty of flowers, but no squash. I threw in, we got one green bee plant that's actually producing. You can see here somewhere maybe some small green beans like this here, but not a lot. Normally, next year I'm gonna plant them really close to each other so we have like a green bee section. But then I planted these pole beans. The pole beans just started coming up. These will climb this fence and I'll actually have to build something like 4 feet higher for those to climb on. The cucumbers are going mad. They're just growing. See how I use the fence? So instead of them laying on the floor, taking up all this space, I have limited space, but you can see they're just growing like mad. I'm gonna trim these things because all they're doing is sucking energy out of the plant. Some of them I'll guide back to the fence further along. Some of them I'll trim off, and that'll force fluid into the cucumbers that are out there. Just all cukes all the way down the side. I love my cucumbers, full of water. And then we've got our radishes. Our radishes aren't doing that great. It's late season. I think radishes come in a lot earlier. We still have the radish greens, which I have that video on eating radish greens, made it with an omelet. So even if like this plant is coming up, it's not really producing a radish, but we still have the radish green to eat. which I really enjoy. Moving down here, I tried to plant some more radishes, but I think it's too late in the season. Had one pop up, and this is all just seeds all through here, and we have like 1, 2, 3 little radish plants. I think we're done with radishes. It's time to plant some fall, kale, maybe some cabbage, something, Brussels sprouts maybe. I love the big zucchini flowers. They're so pretty. You let the light on them, they're so pretty. And what I learned is on the shoots, there's male and female. So all these really thin ones are male. These are male. And then the females will have the little zucchini on it. But the flower has to open, and a bee has to come along and carry the pollen from the male shoot over to the female for it to pollinize, and then for that zucchini to actually turn into something edible and delicious. And I absolutely love our tomato section now. There's 3, 4, 5 different types of tomatoes in here. I already showed you the romaine, the regular round tomatoes, the big beefy tomatoes. That's gonna be huge and delicious. And then all our small ones, you know, you got our little babies, and they're just coming in. And I saved my bread ties. I'm gonna do a quick video. See those bread ties? So whenever I eat bread, I take the bread tie, I throw them in a little sandwich Ziploc bag, and by the time it's gardening season, I have these little garden stakes, but I use bread ties, reused bread ties, to tie my stakes and keep the tomato plants stable so they don't fall over. There you go. Again, another example of the bread ties holding that plant up, see? Keeping it stable, keeping that vine would not be up with the weight of the tomatoes would cause it to fall over. And I've got my cages, tomato cages, and stakes, and bread ties. When this lettuce section is gone, I'm gonna put in some kind of winter something that'll come up and we'll be able to harvest later. Something that when it starts to frost, it won't damage the plant. Cabbage, kale, Brussels sprouts, things like that. Something that you can carry into the winter, something that you can actually turn into like a sauerkraut or something that you can jar, that you can eat later on in January or February. So that's the tour of our wonderful garden. Not too much, little morning stroll. This is what I do. I wake up, drink my coffee. After about a cup of coffee number 2, I'm out in the garden, just tinkering, filling my day with positive activities. Beautiful zucchini. This will be good on the grill. Nice cucumber salads.